The mayor is here to present a proclamation. But first, some words of recognition are in order. As a cabinet officer and director of a nonprofit, Vince Gray was our ally and friend long before he ran for elected office. As council chair, he presided over the enactment of marriage equality. As mayor, he has been down to earth and accessible, brought the right officials to the table, followed through, and took action. For those of us working in the trenches, it is all too easy to focus on the latest flap and forget that Vince is, by the evidence, the best mayor on LGBT issues our city has ever had. And I have the vote particular. Specifically, Mayor Gray's Department of Employment Services launched the city's first transgender employment initiative through Project Empowerment. His Office of Human Rights, and we have Monica Palacios here, the head of the Office of Human Rights. They launched the Transgender and Gender Identity Respect campaign. His Office of GLBT Affairs, and Sterling Washington is also here, has facilitated LGBT cultural competency trainings at district agencies and created the LGBT Employee Resource Group. GLBT Affairs holds monthly meetings of the Violence Prevention Response Team. It works with the U.S. Attorney's Office to solicit community impact statements in bias-related criminal cases. Vince launched the LGBTQ Youth Task Force and the Bullying Prevention Task Force. He convened the district's first youth LGBTQ town hall. His superintendent for education is participating in the GLSEN Safe Schools initiative. His Department of Corrections convenes quarterly meetings of the Transgender Advisory Committee. Vince acted to end the denial of health care coverage to transgender residents. I think that deserves applause right there. He is soliciting input from LGBTQ seniors to make our city more welcoming for all of its elders. Under his leadership, the district joined amicus briefs in the 2 marriage equality cases before the Supreme Court last year. He signed into law birth certificate and marriage officiant reforms. Late last week, I sent the mayor's office a detailed schedule for this evening's program. But I left out one thing, something we've never done before under these circumstances. For the reasons just stated, it is my honor, on behalf of GLAA, to present a special Distinguished Service Award to our mayor, Vincent C. Gray.
Thank you so much. I am absolutely delighted to be here with GLA and all the members of GLAA, and especially with my dear friend, Rick Rosendahl. I want to thank you, Rick, for being such a good friend and being a great advocate here in the District of Columbia. I know we got a number of council members here. I saw Councilmember Catania on the steps as I was coming up. I see Councilmember Orange. I want to say good evening to him. Councilmember Evans, who is here, and I don't know if I've missed any council members. If I did, I apologize to those who Oh, I'm sorry, Councilmember Bowser, forgive me. I can't see, this light is right in my eyes at this point. So anyway, to all the council members, all 13 of the council members, let me say good evening. I first of all want to thank you all for this award. It really means a lot to me, especially to symbolize the work that we have done together. Rick has already summarized many of those things, and we will continue to do those things throughout this year, and wherever I may be involved, I look forward to being able to work hard on behalf of what's right for the District of Columbia. And what we have done is absolutely the right thing. I well remember being the chair of the council when we were moving to try to get marriage equality. Remember that, Jack? Get marriage equality adopted in the District of Columbia. And there were people yelling and screaming out in the hall. You know, they said we were going to hell. That the action that we were about to take was going to relegate us all to burn, you know, for the rest of our eternity. And there were some pretty awful things that was said. But I think all that did for me and for those who were on the council at the time was to strengthen our resolve to do the right thing. And frankly, it was wonderful to be able to see an overwhelming vote, a vote of 11-2 to pass marriage equality in the District of Columbia. And look at what's happened in the nation since. And isn't it nice that the District of Columbia didn't have to wait around to be able to see what everybody else had done so that we could then step up and say, me too. We were really out in the forefront on this, and it was absolutely the right thing to do. And you know, to just close the loop, the council adopted a marriage efficient law, which gave me and the council members an opportunity to perform marriages. And I have now performed 3 marriages, and the first one that I performed was a marriage between 2 gentlemen who asked me if I would be the officiant at their marriage. And we did it in the Wilson building, and I was proud to be able to perform the first same-sex marriage in the Wilson building in the District of Columbia. You know, as Rick indicated, I go back a long ways with GLAA. How many people in here remember Mel Boozer? Mel Boozer and I went to the same high school, and what a leader. Mel Boozer was the president of what was then, I guess, the Gay Alliance. The Gay Activist Alliance, that's right. And Mel Boozer, for those who don't know this or don't remember it, actually stood to run for vice president of the United States at one point in order to be able to make a statement about rights for people whose rights have been trampled on and denied at that stage. What a lot of people don't know is that, I know people know that Mel died of complications associated with AIDS. And he was working for me at the time, but he passed away. He was a leader in the Association for Retarded Citizens, and I was proud to have Mel there. Again, we went to the same high school, and we shared the same values, and he is somebody who was incredibly bright, a graduate of Dartmouth College, and went on to do many important things in his career. And also, Mindy Daniels, who I've known since I was a director of the Department of Human Services, who too has been a leader. And frankly, we've got still a lot of work to be done, but not nearly the difficulty of the work of 10, 15, 20 years ago. It really is a different situation at this point. You know, one of the proudest moments for me, Rick, was to be able to get a perfect score on the GLAA questionnaire. That is hard. How about impossible? You know, and I appreciated the score, but I also thought it helped to symbolize the work that this administration has done. You know, the work that Sterling and Jeff Richards and others have done with the Office of Gay and Lesbian transgender, LGBT affairs. It symbolized that, and I want to thank you all for according me a score that is virtually impossible to achieve because of the exacting standards that you and others have introduced into this organization. So thank you for that. That means a lot, and it's something I've talked about a number of times and will probably talk about for the rest of my life. So with that having been said, I am proud also to be able to present this proclamation. You can skip over. I am going to skip over all that other stuff. That's I'm going to go right to the therefore I, the Mayor of the District of Columbia, do hereby proclaim today as GLAA of Washington, D.C. Day in the nation's capital, Washington, D.C. Thank you very much.